Hey, this is John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're doing a review demo of the Canyon by Electro-Harmonix. Before I tell you all about this very cool pedal, I'll tell you about how we're recording it. Couldn't be simpler. This is my all-stock Gretsch Black Falcon, which I'm running with the Klotz cable directly into the Canyon. The Canyon's being powered with its proprietary power. Then running out of that into a Fender Supersonic. We're in the clean channel now, but we'll get to dirty later on. They're both basically flat. We're micing that with a Royer R121 mic, which is about 8 inches off the speaker. That's running into an FG Quartet in the Pro Tools. In addition to that, I have a MXR tap tempo, this little tiny tap that I'm using out of the tap out of that. So that's about it. Guitar, pedal, amp, mic universe. So let me tell you the basic details of this. So it's amazing what they've crammed into this tiny little box. The basic controls are, they're pretty simple, what you'd expect in a delay. There's the amount of the effect, there's the delay time, and there's the feedback. But here's where it gets really interesting. Right here you have 10 different delay settings and a looper. And then right here, this gives you you can either tap it right there or use your tap out. And you can switch between tap and divide, which means you can switch between a dotted thing, which I was doing on the in, or quarters or whatevs. Very cool feature. On that way in, I don't know if you can guess that song, but that occurred to me last night. I've literally not played that since 8th grade in orchestra. So you can chalk that one up to the Billings, Montana Public School Service right there. And my teacher, Mr. Payne, thanks for teaching me that. But the dotted thing really sounded great on that. So I digress. Let me get back to the pedal. So we have these 10 different delay settings. The one I came in on was the Deluxe Memory Man setting, which is a digital attempt to get that old Bucket Brigade sound that they came out with in the 70s. And again, if you remember those Memory Man, they were like that big and did not have tap. So this sounds pretty dang close to that. Pretty remarkable. But there's a lot of other settings, so let's get to those. So that's setting number 5, but let's take it all the way back to the first setting, which is just echo. And that is a straight, clean repeat. So it's not putting anything on it, not modding, just giving you a repeat of what you give it. So. Great, but say you want a little something more. Well, let's put it right here where you get some mod on it. Okay? As we turn it up a little bit more, you can kind of hear more of that mod going, okay? Kind of a dreamy, chorusy bit, so very cool. Next we have the multi, and this is where I'm going to turn it down a little bit, and this is where your tap tempo will really come in handy. So of course, you know, you can kind of get your edge on with just this tiny box. Very cool. Okay, next up, it gets a little more trippy hippie. We've got the reverse. Thing I like about that, there are other pedals that do the reverse thing. Of course, it's a fairly common effect now, but this one seems a little more controlled. They got some great tones on it. Next we have the one I started with, the Deluxe Memory Man. Loved that. And again, it's a huge, I think a huge improvement over the original. You've got, granted, it's not going to sound exactly like that huge box from the 70s, but it's going to cost you considerably less. It's going to be a much cleaner signal, and it gives you tap, which is huge. Okay, next we have a tape simulator. And this one, you might want to try it, you know, like it's a kind of an old school slappy thing. Cool, right? Very cool. You've got all these voices in one pedal. Okay, next we have Verb. And here's a cool thing. If you turn that feedback down, you're going to have a really kind of pristine, clean Verb. And then you can add a little bit of delay to it too. Turn up that feedback. It's going to be a little more exciting. That's kind of a dreamy effect, right? But wait, there's more. Next, you've got this crazy octave. Right? Now, say you want to go more low than high, there's a secondary switch. If you open this thing up, you can flip that and it'll switch it to a low octave. We're not going to do that now, but know it's there. That's just a crazy, almost organ-y kind of tone. So after that is the Shimmer. Let's try that. And that's one thing I really love about this. You know, if you utilize, there I was using the tap tempo, but as you adjust it, you get all these crazy space noises. Yeah, isn't that a crazy kind of new agey? You could just like let the tape roll and make your own weird yoga new age soundtrack. So what they're doing in the Shimmer, they're actually creating, it's kind of like a Memory Man mixed with a POG pitch shifter and a compressor. So we're taking these other electro-harmonic effects and kind of all smashing them together in that. So that's a very cool setting. Okay, next we have the sample and hold. And what this does, it will indefinitely repeat whatever note it senses you plucking. And this controls the sensitivity. So if you turn the sensitivity where the threshold is fairly high, it won't sense that. But if you put it right here, so cool, right? I mean, I could really see that being a cool tool if you're doing like, I don't know, if you're building something big at the end of a song and a vamp out like that, hit something like that, have it repeat indefinitely and play under it. Or if you're doing a solo show, I mean, you can literally just kind of set a rhythm like a So a cool little tool to have. It's almost like a kind of a primitive looper. And finally, right here we have an actual looper. So you know how these work, but you can kind of just So you get the idea, you can kind of build them forever. But it's a cool feature to have, and all in this tiny box. I mean, we really are living in kind of the golden age of pedals, that you can get all of this kind of amazing stuff in one tiny pedal. Back in the day, people like, I don't know, we all used to carry a ton of gear to cover all those different voices. Now you've got it all there. My one complaint is the writing on this is so impossibly small. When I'm holding it like this, I can barely see it. And if you're looking down at your pedal board, you can't see it at all. So I get it, it's really small, but maybe you could make it slightly bigger. I don't know. Or maybe I should just get glasses. Maybe it's time. So those are the basic details on the Canyon by Electro-Harmonix. To read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com or get the magazine sent to your home. While you're at it, while you're online, check out Facebook, Instagram, all that Premier Guitar stuff. We'll keep you up to date on all the cool gear that's out here. Let's set her to something trippy dippy and see what happens.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on PremierGuitar.com.